what's up, everybody? This is a couples review.
Hey,
We are going to review Married at First Sight, season 11,
episode 12.
12. Yep. So this time, we're going to go ahead and do all of the couples
Mm-hmm.
for this one video. I know we've been breaking it up, which we're going to do like that for the most part.
Mm-hmm. But we got to switch it up every now and then
Yeah.
just to keep it fresh.
Yeah. And we haven't been getting all of the couples in when we do it that way because I have to edit them and it takes a long time.
Man, life happens.
Yeah, we
Life
have other
happens.
things going on, but we love doing this. So this is a hobby for us.
Uh-huh.
So here we go.
Here we go.
All right, so we're going to do it in the order of the show. For those of you who missed this episode, hopefully you'll be able to get a good grip. Yeah,
get a gist of it.
right. So Amani and Woody, it opens up with Amani and Woody in the kitchen and they talk about their budget. I thought that was really nice. Like I was happy to see them getting to serious conversations.
Yeah, this was like the first time that we got a chance to actually see them not just be overly sexualized like you said last time, and kind of get into what life is going to look like. So
right. And even that conversation was pretty smooth. I mean, even though there were things that she maybe didn't disagree that she disagreed with, it still wasn't like a big issue.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think it was funny because, listening to Woody with his budget, I think that his budget is going to change a bit.
Of course.
Because I'm sure they're going to, with the money he was talking about spending, I mean, kudos to you if you got, a job that's giving you that much money so that you can spend like this. However, what you'll see later on in the episode is, he's going to end up spending money in other places, I'm sure.
Right. And I think he's open to change. So that's a good thing. He always fixes her breakfast. She mentioned that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I miss breakfast food.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I would love.
Oh, I would love. Like I've really been yearning for some breakfast food. Like the whole remember when we played the couples game and I said like pancakes and eggs and I don't even eat eggs like that, but eggs, potatoes with cheese. Oh.
Yeah. Well,
I miss that.
We kind of stopped eating breakfast for a while.
Because we were eating pancakes and we were trying not to eat that much bread.
Yeah.
But I'm like, while we have been eating bread, we might as well get some pancakes.
So we're going to have to get some pancakes.
Yeah. Anyway. And he got her flowers again. She opened the refrigerator and it was in there. I just love them.
That was pretty smooth. Yeah, that was pretty smooth. We didn't let her know she opened up the thing like, bam. Here's your flowers.
I want to be their couple friend. I wish they lived here because I just really like Amani. She seems like we would get along because we have the same type of vibe. Mm-hmm. And I think I could see myself being like a great friend of hers and vice versa. Can't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I really, really like her. I wish I knew her. So I want to talk about a little bit of, what they were saying in the budget I found like, what? Okay, so the date once a week, $150 a week. I think that's pretty good because we spend, like when we were actually going on dates regularly before the pandemic, we were spending more than that when we went on a date.
That's true. And I mean, I guess that also kind of depends on what, you classify as a date.
That's true.
Because we would also, do things, like go to the movies.
But that's when she said that, I was like, yeah, it doesn't always have to, because I think what they were talking about is like the dinners. Mm-hmm. So, but when we would go to dinner, sometimes it would be more than $150. But I also classify
the dinner itself would be more than $150. And then, whatever else we did, if we went somewhere else to have like drinks or something,
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But we also go to the movies, and that's like we could do that one week and that's all we did, but that's still that's a date.
Right. Well, see, this in a way, now that I think about what you're saying, shows a little bit of the naivety of Woody.
Really? Why?
Because it's like, Amani is very level-headed. Mm-hmm. She's very level-headed. She's very steady. Mm-hmm. And you can see that. But with Woody, he's saying, $150 a week, not considering the little stuff that happens in between. And, and really just saying, I want a budget, maybe even, let's say $150 a week, maybe if that's what your budget is a week, But what I'm saying when he's not naive is that one, he said, "I love you" extremely quick, almost like
I
it was.
smell a hater.
No, he said it very, very, very fast, almost like puppy love, very puppy love-ish, and so which shows that he's
I
very
don't know. I like
emotional.
how this puppy love is taking him to the jewelry store. I'm not okay, we going too fast, but I don't know.
Okay, I digress. I'm gonna pull back. But what I'm saying is, I'm getting a little bit of why Amani is a bit hesitant.
Okay, but what does him being naive have to do with him saying $150 a week? Or were you not comparing that?
Well, when I say that is because it's not necessarily as sustainable as that. I mean, $150 a week isn't a whole lot. However,
I think the gesture was nice because it only helps him when she says we don't have to do that. And he wasn't arguing it. So I feel like the fact that he said what he was willing to do, because he doesn't know what she thinks, so it's like, I'm willing to do this if you want to. So I feel like if he would have first said, we need to just spend $50, that would have been an insult to me. I like the fact that he went there and then let her pull back, and he's gonna be fine with it because it's kind of like, oh, well, that works for me anyway. Because he's only doing it because he thinks that that's what she wants. I feel
that's true, but I'm just feeling something. I'm feeling
You're not being a hater.
No,
I thought you said it was getting better.
I like them. I like them. I even said when I was watching it, maybe he's not being, very playerish.
And you changed your mind?
Nope. I'm not saying that. I'm not thinking that he's being any way playerish. What I'm thinking is that he is being a little bit like a grown 16-year-old.
What?
Yep.
Okay, wait. Okay, we'll come back to that because I'm just so appalled. Okay, and then for the rent, he said $1,800 a month, which, okay, I don't know the prices in New Orleans, but that could be a nice. If it's cheaper than LA, then they could really get a nice apartment. I don't know what he makes. I don't know what they make, so I really don't know if Oh, okay. This was when I think of the night naivete. Is that how people say it?
Naivete. That's right.
Is when he said $500 to $1,000 on clothes, and that's really basically one shirt and one pair of jeans. I'm like, so you telling me you going out to buy a Versace shirt, living in an $1,800
Come on
rent?
Now. Come on now. Where are your
I don't own a
priorities?
Versace shirt, and if I owned one, it would be because I got it for free or I got it for a discount. All of the name brand stuff I've gotten, I haven't paid for. It's been other stuff related.
I mean, when you're doing that once a month, I mean, man, your closet must be insane. Or you must be selling this stuff. I don't know. That is insane.
But you know what? Oh, and now she did say that worries her a bit, because she wants to make sure that they're able to support each other financially. I think there's no worry though if he's willing to come down on that, which they never talked about it again. I hope he is. I feel like he is. I feel like he was just saying what he normally spent before the marriage, and so that's fair.
Yeah.
But as long as he's willing to change, then I think they'll be fine. They didn't really go into that.
He seems like he will.
I think so. I he wants to make it work.
Yeah,
and he likes her too much to let that really be an issue.
Right.
I think.
Absolutely.
So the next couple, Olivia and Brett, starts them off in the kitchen. And she asked if they feel like they moved past yesterday. I guess this is when they were planning to talk to Pastor Cal.
Right. Because she wanted to talk to Pastor Cal even in the meeting that they had in the last episode. But now she actually decided to bring it up and plan it.
Because Pastor Cal gets deeper. Even in this, I'm like, okay, all the couples need to talk to him because he goes beyond what the couples are saying.
Oh yeah, he's got a good question and response.
Exactly.
And he gives really good advice.
Like he's present.
Yeah, he's very present.
No shade to anybody else. I'm just saying. So Brett had a little bit of an attitude when she was like, okay, are you ready to call Pastor Cal? I guess he really kind of sort of didn't want to, but either way, they call.
Well, because then he had to play again. Which I think he does. I think, he plays for the situation.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I gotta
Now I got to
make
put
sure I
on.
put on." Yeah.
Gotta,
That's true. So Olivia tells Pastor Cal that she feels overwhelmed because she can't tell what he's thinking. And that's like an issue for her when it comes to kind of letting herself go and open up with him because he's so sarcastic all the time.
yeah. Well, good for Olivia on
Mm-hmm.
this,
Yeah.
on really, speaking her mind and really trying to proactively work on this relationship.
Yeah.
She's really into it.
Yeah, I agree.
Brett isn't really as much into it, and I think that Brett still puts on. He puts on.
Yeah, we only had one scene, and we'll talk about that, where I'm like, okay, this is the real Brett because it was totally different from the other type of interaction I've seen him have with her. But they talk to Pastor Cal, and she says, so Olivia tells Pastor Cal that Brett is being basically two-faced and not genuine. Like
Oh
he's
yeah.
one way in front of the camera and another way when they're by themselves. And then
Hmm.
they show a clip of them hugging and stuff. And I was like, what? Who
Right.
is this
Oh,
couple?
my jaw was on the
Yeah,
floor. I was
totally different. I was so surprised.
what?
I couldn't even imagine him hug.
What? What? He's like grabbing her and
Yeah,
holding her,
I'm
and
like, what?
they're kissing on the couch, watching what looks like Married at First Sight. I looked at the
Oh,
TV.
really?
It
I
looked
missed
like, yeah, I
that.
saw Bennett. However, yeah, I was like, what in the world is going on?
And it's like it also showed me that Olivia is willing to fall into your arms if you make it a safe place and space for her. Like, cause she was all like cuddled up under his arms like a
Right,
little baby. And it was just like, so you have the ability to make things happen the way you want it to. You don't have to be sarcastic. Cause
right.
it's not like when you try to hug her and hold her, she's like being like, ew, don't touch me.
Well, you know what I actually had in the writing when I was watching this was that I feel like he's gaslighting her. And so he's like making her feel one way,
Mm-hmm.
but then, like switching up. So you basically like make somebody question what's really going on
Mm-hmm.
because they make you almost feel crazy. And I feel like Brett is really kind of putting on. So he's one way, he's like showing her all kind of affection, but
Mm-hmm.
then when the cameras are there, he's acting almost as if he's standoffish, and he's not really present. And so he's making her feel comfortable, but then uncomfortable, and then making her question and even question her judgment of him.
Do you think he has a reason for that? Do you think there's a reason or you're just still confused? Cuz what he says is that he's protecting their image. And I'm like, how are you protecting their image on camera by not showing her affection, acting like an a-hole and a jerk, but then when the cameras are off, you're showing love and being open and being genuine. So I mean that seems backwards to me. I didn't get his reasoning for that. It didn't make sense.
I think with Brett, he's very particular, and he
Mhm.
probably wants something specific. And
What you
unless
mean?
there's some people, and there's some people who go through life, and they say, okay, well, I need my woman or I need my man to be this, and this, and if it's not everything clicking,
Mhm.
then I'm not going to actually be into that person.
But why is he into her when the cameras are off?
Because he's trying to get what he want to get. He's trying to get what he want to get. He's trying to see what he can get.
But he doesn't think that he needs to continue it. Like she's gonna forget how he was acting behind clothes. Like that's stupid. If you're really trying to get what you want to get, then you would just keep it going.
He's trying to get her in the sense without
Mhm.
really being into her, because if he wasn't, I think he would carry that on even in camera. But if he's not really into her and he's trying to use her for one reason or the next, then he's going to put her off on the cameras because he doesn't want the world to see that he really likes her, because
Mhm.
he's already feeling like he's going to say no. And
Mhm.
so when whomever he gets with later on sees this, they're going to always see that he was very standoffish with her, and so he'll feel like he's protecting himself. And that's what he's doing. He's protecting himself, not her. He's protecting himself for when he says he doesn't want to be in this relationship
Uh-huh.
anymore. And the next person that he gets with, he can always say that he really didn't like her and he
Oh
really
my
was standoffish
God.
with her.
That would be so messed up. He says that if he was being fake, then they wouldn't be where they are. Um, for example, they wouldn't be having any problems because he would just be fake and give her what she wants. That's his proof to show her that he is being genuine.
No, that's just an excuse for being why he is the way he
I
is.
agree. I
That's not
totally
that's
agree.
not that's not the reason why.
I totally agree. Pastor Cal did say it's natural, it's a natural response for them to be different in front of the camera. But then he wants to go deeper and ask Olivia, what's really bothering you about the fact that he acts different on camera than off? Um, Again, that's another example of Pastor Cal getting deeper, like
Mhm.
going
Mhm. Mhm.
beyond what's being said, right?
Mhm.
I think all
Mhm.
the couples need that.
Those are hard questions too, because now you got to like say,
Yeah.
hey, I.
And it puts you on Front Street to see if you
Mhm.
BSing,
Mhm.
like,
Like, tell me really why, and then also
exactly.
let him know why too.
Exactly. Olivia, there was a pause. I don't know if it was editing or not, but she just basically, um, what was her response to that? I mean, I'm sure it was something like it's just genuine. She doesn't know if he's genuine, and
Right. She.
and and the trust. I guess it makes it harder for her to trust, even though she said that she gives trust until proven wrong. Um, I guess the distrust is seeing him act so different. It's like, oh,
Right.
you're two-faced, so I can't trust you.
Well, it's her natural instinct, right? I think that's what it is. I mean, even though he's gaslighting her, making her question what's right, what's wrong, what's real, what's not, she still really feels a certain way because the body language tells the truth, even though
Yeah.
you don't know it, and so he realizes that he can somewhat manipulate her, and I think that's what he's doing. And
Really?
I think that's why she's questioning it and
Yeah.
saying that
Her
no,
intuition?
yeah, her intuition is saying, no, I don't trust you. I
Mhm.
don't trust you. And
Mhm.
I can't tell you why, but I don't trust you.
Mhm.
And that's really where she's at right now. And that's why she's starting to get a little frustrated.
And then Pastor Cal just sums it up and says that the root of all of this is fear. They're both scared, and all of the issues is rooted in fear. Maybe for Brett, fear and a little manipulation.
Pastor Cal, at this point, when he said that, hasn't seen everything that we've seen.
I think so too.
And
Huh?
so he's saying that based on what Brett is saying, because
Mhm.
Brett is good at this
Yeah.
game. And so, I mean, and Brett's smart. Brett's smart. And so Pastor Kyle is saying, okay, it looks like it's fear on both of you guys' part.
Mhm.
And if Brett was being true to that, yeah. I mean, I think that they had a good episode today. But yeah, I think that he's putting on.
So next, Bennett meets with his sister Molly. Oh my God, what a nutcase! No offense, I'm not calling her like crazy in a bad way, but they
Well,
are definitely kooky.
she
She is
is
kooky. She makes Bennett look extremely normal.
cool. She's cool. Oh God, she
She
is.
brought a stuffed duck and was really like, the duck has been asking about him, so I needed to bring him, you know.
Like, this is really her friend, and I mean, oh my
I'm
God.
like, is she putting on because she knew she was on TV? I just
No,
don't know.
I think that this is truly who she is, and I think that the only reason we haven't seen this duck before is because her mother or somebody said, "Look, if you bring that duck, I'm gonna
Right.
disown you.
Right.
I need you to dry off the top of your lip,
Molly,
stop looking
do
crazy.
not bring that duck in this car.
Don't, yeah, do not, yeah, leave it here." I mean, I'm sure that this is probably like the 15th duck because the mom keeps replacing
That
it
is
with a
so
clean duck.
funny.
She's
So
had this duck for the last 16 years.
so Molly does a tarot card reading,
Mm,
and everything was good except for when they got to the lover's card. She said that the lover's card meant that he needed to slow down and that he's too happy.
yeah, he seemed a
I
little.
kind of was side eyeing it because I thought the lover's card meant something good. I think, yeah, I don't know. At first I was thinking she was kind of hating, but then she kind of fixed it when in the
Mhm.
confessional she was like, "They're twin flames, they're soulmates. I see
Yeah,
them going for a long time."
yeah.
So I'm like, okay,
She
maybe
turned it
she just
around.
doesn't know how to read cards.
She turned it around. She turned it around.
Yeah.
She definitely did. But then,
Wait,
like, even
right. Go
no, I was gonna say. I
ahead.
mean, she turned it around because at first I thought she was hating a little bit. But then I don't know. Even like the waiter came around, and then she even stopped the conversation that she was having with Bennett to ask for some bird seeds for the duck.
Yeah, that also was another like, okay, this is ridiculous. Are you hating right now? But I don't know. Maybe it's a mix also between her seeing her brother move on. She wants him to be happy, but it's just a little like, I don't know.
So you're saying that basically she was just acting out because she was sad?
Maybe because remember when they were at the restaurant with Amelia, she chimed in and was like, "Well, he doesn't want, he wants to only adopt," and it's like that was her taking kind of ownership of her brother and knowing her brother better than you. So I'm gonna tell you about my brother.
That's my Bennett.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my Bennett, not your Bennett.
Exactly. But it ended good. I mean, overall, she means them well.
Oh,
She's just being a little sister.
Yeah, she does. And so
okay.
She's cool.
So next we see Karen and Miles at the park, like a lovely brother and sister, chilling, hanging out.
Brother and sister, absolutely. They hit me. Wow. That's what they look like.
She meet her little brother at the park. They like, what's up? What's been up with you?
How you been? Cool. What you been up to? Chilling.
All right.
So tell me what you learned in the last week.
God. I mean, she said, right. She says she wants, to bond in a way that's authentic and natural. I hope that this leads to that and it doesn't lead to more of like a friendship, because that's what it's seeming like. I do know they need to go slow, but golly, like this is like even I don't know.
I hope she's just awkward on camera at this point. Now I'm just
now she's going to give us something different because we got the pandemic. So don't nobody want to be alone during the pandemic. People start acting right. They like, okay, I need to make sure.
This is the longest winter ever.
Right.
So they book. I think that was a book.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. This is the longest winter ever. I want y'all to coin that phrase, 2020.
That's so funny. I think it's already coined.
Was it? Well,
I'm sure.
It's a book. However, 2020, the longest winter ever. Anyway.
You're right. They played Two Truths and a Lie. It was a cute game. They were vibing. One thing I noticed is that they play a lot of competitive things, and I think that's because that's what makes Karen feel most comfortable. I just don't know if that's something. It's nice to be competitive sometimes, but the way like that's all they do to get closer, I feel like that's what friends do. I don't know if that really influences romance.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, and it kind of doesn't. I mean, even when his pet name for her, his real pet name for her, Killer, that nothing that really happens between them is very romantic and sexy.
He tries, but because she doesn't like it, then he doesn't.
Well, I mean, he comes with a lot of sensitiveness. He comes with a lot of sensitiveness.
Right, but okay, that's true, but we would be able to be, and I don't want people to think I don't like Karen, because I wanted them to work. And another thing that I'm thinking of is like I have some girlfriends who deserve who deserve a good man, and so I think that's why I'm more involved, because it's like I know some women who like are really good women who would really enjoy being with somebody like Miles.
I guess Miles is not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. There's nothing wrong with Miles.
No, and it's like it'd be different if she was given a little, then we could more so focus on how Miles is doing too much. But she's not even giving a little. So it's like, okay, look, we're going in. Okay, so so he wins. I guess they had a dare, like whoever wins.
He cheats. He cheated. I'm gonna say it. He cheated.
Whatever, he deserves it. The dare is they get tattoos, and he said it reflects how permanent. Something like it reflects how permanent he wants them to be. And then Karen gives this unsure look, like she always does. She doesn't really say anything.
She looks down and then kind of looks up and just like, that's not how I
thought that was so sweet. I'm a mushy person. I love stuff like that. I think that's so, oh, you thought about that in comparing to a tattoo.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
it's
And
like,
then like also position yourself to win in order to have that. He put, I mean, in which,
come
he,
on.
so it was a good cheat.
You know what
So,
I'm
so
saying?
he did it on purpose in order for that to
You
happen,
know what I'm
which,
saying?
it worked out and which was very, very authentic and kind of cute. Very cute.
You know? Okay, so next, Henry meets with his best friend. I forgot her name though. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
But he talks to her about how confidence was Christina's deal breaker and how she mentioned it after he had told his story about having a lack of confidence.
Hmm.
So she's like, "Do you think, she meant it as like a dig?" They're basically talking about it. I will say I don't know how I feel about when you're in a relationship with somebody and you have a best friend of the opposite sex. I'm lying. I do know how I feel about it. I don't think that's appropriate.
Uh,
Unless the opposite sex is,
mhm.
a part of the LGBT and they don't want you, I can only see that being okay because, they don't want you. So you don't really have to
You don't have
worry,
to worry about what the intentions
They're not
are.
yeah, they're not telling you anything bad because they secretly want you.
When I watched this, I thought to myself that this isn't good, that she is in some way influencing Henry, that the relationship that he has with Christina is a bad thing.
Mhm.
Because now when you have a woman who's saying that another woman is bad, it
Mhm.
almost means more. It almost
Mhm.
means like, oh, so this isn't normal, and I'm
Mhm.
getting it from your peers, as
Yeah.
opposed to it being from a guy.
Right.
Now, I had to digress a bit because I was starting to be like, I was getting hot. I was. But then I was like, okay, you know what? She's actually saying the same thing that I would say. So I was like, I can't really be too mad about her because I feel like she's a friend. She's been a friend for a
Mhm.
long time. And this would be how I feel emotionally about what's going on for real if it was a different man. Henry is a very different person. And
Mhm.
so, he's probably not going to have a lot of, very close male friends. He's going to have a lot of female friends because of who he is, and they're going to take him under their wing. I sometimes wonder if they pity him so much that they like him. No, that they kind of like the fact that he's a very sweet and sincere, and you'll never have to worry about him cheating on you. So
Uh-huh.
let's say, his best friend, her man cheats, right? And then she's
Mhm.
like, you know what? I'll never have to worry about this with Henry. Henry will never do that. Henry is sweet. I like Henry. We can talk. And then so she can always infiltrate. She can always
Well,
infiltrate.
I would like to hope that Henry is stronger than that. I would like to hope he's stronger than that when he's with a woman that he really likes. I hope that she's only able to come in and kind of guide him with Christina because he already hopefully she's only assuring the feelings that he already has and that without her he wouldn't maybe try a little harder. She one thing I did like though that she did, this is what friends do, just like Bennett did for him. She assured him that who he is isn't a bad thing because he was kind of naming like the
Hmm.
things,
Hmm.
the negative things as if they were like bad things.
Hmm.
Which no, that's just who you are.
Hmm.
So you hope that you can meet someone that is compatible with you. But she mentions how she didn't like Christina's attitudes towards the producers at the housewarming party. And so they show a clip of how Christina was like really rude. And I was like, she was a little rude. She was very rude actually.
Christina was rude in that situation. You know what I was just thinking about when you were
Mhm.
talking a little bit was that, if it was a guy that was talking to Henry, maybe that guy would have said, you know what? It's a possibility for when you're with her that, that things could change and that you guys aren't always going to just mesh when you guys walk in the door
That's so true.
together.
She gave no hope.
Moving
So
on.
so Woody goes to the jewelry store and I just absolutely loved this moment.
Mm.
I was in bliss while watching it. honestly. He had the champagne, or he had
Yeah,
wine,
some
but
wine. Yeah, it was some red wine.
I know there are jewelry shops that serve wine, but is it you get it when you have an appointment, or
You get it when you got cameras.
no,
No, I'm
there
joking.
are places
No,
that do that.
but yeah, they are. But they do it
That
in
would
certain
be an
circumstances.
amazing, that would be such a cute date.
Would it?
Yes.
When I go.
And then dinner afterwards, that would be so cute. Hint, hint.
Hmm.
Honestly, I would love it. Okay, so he wants to get Amani a gift for their 1 month anniversary. It's everybody's 1 month anniversary this episode. So he gets her this cute diamond bracelet and diamond earrings. I thought it was a great gesture. He talks about her like he loves her when he was talking to the jewelry guy. Like, it just seems like they've been together. I feel like Woody is doing an amazing job. Whatever is whatever, I feel like at this moment, he's doing an amazing job making Amani feel loved. And it's matching with what he says to me.
Absolutely. No, he hasn't wavered.
And when he left, he said, "We'll be back." And he sings and I was like, "Yes."
Woody is at this very moment smitten for
it
you
made
to
me
go
feel mushy.
Yeah, for you to go to, the jewelry store after a month of being together, and and I mean
I'm sure.
and I'm gonna tell you, he went to Diamond Direct. So he didn't go to
it was, he only went to the jewelry store after being together for a month because they're married and it's the month anniversary for the show. So I believe he would have went to the jewelry store, but in a regular situation, I don't think he would have went to the jewelry store for a month of being with his girlfriend. I will say that.
That's true.
It's because they're married already, and it's the month anniversary for the show. So everybody can choose what they decide to do.
Right.
We just see how he thinks compared to who. I'm not comparing it, but everybody shows their way of what they feel like they want to do. And I think Amani and Woody and Amelia and Bennett, they know each other, and they did. Okay, I'm moving ahead.
Did Amani do anything for Woody at all?
No, but I mean,
okay, I just asking.
She's a woman.
I was just asking.
You know what she did?
What?
Allowed him to give her a sex coupon that she can cash in. That's what she did.
Okay,
yeah, that's what she did.
Can cash in this
because that was like he put his own gift in there. Along with it.
He had 12 coupons and 6 of them were sex coupons.
I'm like, okay, so he got her his own gift with her gift. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Just let me know straight up what you want. So okay, so okay.
The other 6 lead to sex.
Right. I'm like, okay, that's your gift.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amelia meets with her friend. Who did you call her friend? Amelia meets with her friend.
Oh, Bruno Mars.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Her friend, that was a cute conversation. Her friend really seems like a really good friend that she trusts. That seems like a friend that you can really talk to, when you're happy. It's good to have friends like that. The friend says, Amelia asked her if she's ever lived with a partner, and they talk about the things that could possibly change. And the friend says that when you live with someone, the passion dies sooner. That's her opinion. What you think?
I think first of all, I think that I really like Bruno Mars, the friend. I really did. No, I think that she was very present, very present, very caring, very
Bruno
caring.
Mars, I can't.
No, well, that's just funny to me. But yeah, I think
she was very present, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, she's a good friend.
Yeah. But what was the question?
That the friend says that when you live with someone, the passion dies sooner.
I don't know necessarily. Because in my life that's not necessarily the case. I think that
I agree.
I think that the passion increases. It works. It works.
Amelia says that they're still learning about each other. So the mystery is enough to keep the passion. So she's like, we're not worried about that because we're learning everything new. So I could see how that makes sense. Like she has so much to learn about him that it's way too soon for any passion to be dying.
She was saying also that they had a few nights where they were literally just up all night asking questions about each other, which I think that's usually how I feel like I am.
Amelia said that they're starting to feel like they know each other more now. The friend asks if they're having love feelings, and she goes, for the first time in a long time, she feels content. And that's such an amazing feeling because that's how I feel with you. Like it's like, okay, this is done. Not even for the first time in a long time, but I've never felt like, okay, I want to be with this person forever. I've had those feelings towards me, but I didn't necessarily feel so sure the way that I feel sure now, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, Amelia mentions how in high school they said, however she gets married, it won't be normal.
Mm-hmm.
And
it wasn't
it came
normal.
true.
No,
right.
it absolutely came true.
Mm-hmm.
Even the wedding itself wasn't normal. Not the fact that they just met and didn't know each other.
Was she had birds in her hair?
She had birds. Her bridesmaids looked like
they came in on unicycles or something?
Oh, Lord, it was whatever it was. It was not normal. Which the whole world, I'm sure, knew that.
Right. So we go to Olivia and Brett. They just kind of reiterate their issues again. Olivia talks about his sarcasm being hurtful. And when he's sarcastic, she gets more defensive, which I understand that. It's kind of like it's hard to not get defensive back if you feel like someone is attacking you. So I can understand what she means there. More so with Brett, I could see how it would make you want to catch an attitude.
Oh, absolutely. However, I mean, in this situation, this is the first time we saw Brett actually respond in a very normal way.
Right. Like for the first time, he seemed very genuine. And it was like he was a different person. There was no sarcasm. He was like, I was able to see his personality. I guess that's his personality, or was he faking? I don't know, but
this is his personality when he's scared. See, this is when Corona
come on now.
just hit.
Come on now.
This is when Corona just hit. So he's like nervous, he's scared, and he also wants some comfort too.
He's like, I gotta stop playing.
Yeah, I need to stop playing right now. And so, he this episode, I'm saying, Brett and Olivia, I swear, if this is how they acted, if this is how they acted all the time, then I would have a very different opinion about them.
I agree.
Yep.
So
yep.
So Amani and Woody and Miles and Karen meet up for lunch.
This looked like it was a cool little couples
date,
didn't
right?
It? Yeah.
It was cool.
They looked like they had fun.
Yes.
They also looked like they knew each other and
That's
had,
true.
Just genuine like for each other.
You know what? I also feel like, because I do feel like Amani and Karen speak, I feel like Karen, I'm gonna spoiler right here. Move forward 10 seconds if you don't want to hear this. I'll give you time. We know that Karen and Miles are gonna say yes. So I feel like a part of, did you know that? You didn't know?
No, I knew that. No, I was just thinking about what you just said.
Oh, Karen and Miles are going to say yes. But that's why I was saying spoil. So if you didn't want to hear it, move forward. I feel like Woody and Amani helped that. Because when you have another couple, it makes you think like, okay, it must be something wrong with me if I can't make this work.
Yeah. And it also really kind of adds a family oriented vibe to the relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like this relationship, not only comes with somebody who is supportive and caring and takes care of me in every way that they can, but it also comes with fun when it comes to another couple, and then Amani
who can help you guys.
Who can help you, and then Amani on that instance is, in my opinion, the matriarch of this whole thing.
I'm so jealous of Karen that she gets Amani as a friend. I have one best friend, but sometimes you need two.
Yeah.
Okay. So Woody says that he's super happy with Amani. We already know that.
Oh, yeah.
We already know that. Miles asked a question. He said, "What have you learned about yourself since you guys have been together?" Woody says patience. And Amani says, like, basically what I was going to say, the same thing. Her patience has been impeccable. So she says, and I can see that. I can see that they both probably have to have patience with each other because they're different. But I think they've been doing a good job.
That makes me wonder at what reason why they would say patience. Because patience means that you had to swallow sometimes what you're
But
going
isn't
through.
that normal? That's always.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
However, they don't talk about why they had to swallow. They don't talk about why they have to
I
be
think they
patient.
have. For instance, I think, which I agree is probably deeper or something else, but they could also be talking about, for instance, when he said that he spends $500 to $1,000 a month and she just didn't really like what blah 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 blah. That's patience to be able to talk to him in a calm manner and not judge him. Just like when maybe he really didn't want a dog and he really inside felt irritated by the fact that she kept bringing it up. He had to be patient and kind of talk to her in a way that didn't sound attitude-ish about it.
Wow, that was good. That's good.
Those
That's
type of
good.
things
That's
take
good.
patience.
The absolutely right. And
You know?
and frankly, only Woody and Amani and Ben and Amelia have that.
Yeah, that's true.
They're the only ones who have that patience collectively.
Mhm.
Collectively, the two.
Mhm.
Maybe Karen and Miles have that. Because this is the two couples we're talking about.
Yeah.
Miles might have that, but Karen doesn't have that same kind of patience.
Yeah, she has a patience to where she's not going to say anything, but her attitude is not patient. But I think she thinks she's patient because she's not reacting, but her reaction is a reaction because it's sarcastic and attitude-ish sometimes. But Karen says that what she learned about herself is that she's hard to read.
Which is even a hard to read response.
Right. Miles goes in. He uses this time to release.
Well, even Amandi even was just like, "You're not gonna give us anything, huh?" Like even
Oh, really? Did she have that look?
She had a comment like, "Even what you said isn't going to
Did
give."
she?
Yes.
What did she say? I didn't hear that.
She said something about her either being mysterious or just not being, not giving a response that even lets us know really about what you learned.
I missed that.
The fact that you learn that you're hard to read isn't really
right. That's not really. That's not really a deep self-reflection.
No,
at all.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not. And this is what she's been doing a lot in this whole season for me, which is just being very one-wordish, not very present. All of her responses are very quick and just as if she would rather be somewhere else. As if she'd rather be somewhere else.
So Miles agrees with her being hard to read, and he goes off on a tangent and describes how she doesn't compliment him again, saying that he comes out the shower all oiled up and stuff. I'm like, okay, he was obviously looking for a reaction. That's what Amani said. It was a little awkward how much he was releasing on them. And it was kind of like, do you tell her these things the way that you're telling the whole table? Because I don't know if he goes in like that on her.
You know what? He probably does, but he gets tired of doing it because, Karen will just look at him like, cool.
Karen looked real aggravated though when he was saying all of that.
Well, because she's throwing all of the business out there.
That's true.
But you better act right.
Well, he's probably kind of like calling out for help.
Well, you know what though? He's very emotional and he's very okay with just expressing the good and the bad, regardless.
Amani makes a funny comment about them walking hard. So I'm like, okay, they live above them.
They live above them, right? So we know that the Gotham lofts in New Orleans is probably not the place you want to be if you're not on the top floor.
Right. True.
But we only like the top floor anyway. That's how we roll.
And then, right, exactly. Because you can't control the people on top of you, but I can control how loud I walk. So Karen brings up how her and Miles were talking about fostering a dog, which I think was a lot. I think her and Amani spoke, and Amani was like, "Girl, bring this up because I want a dog." Because how can Karen be thinking about fostering a dog when she seems to be so unsure about whether or not she's going to stay with Miles, unless we're not seeing the truth? I don't know. It's very confusing.
Well, that's how Karen has been this whole relationship. It's been very confusing and actually, flip-flopping.
Yeah.
1 minute she's in it, the next minute she's not. We never know.
Okay, so that was basically them at their lunch. That was cute. Next, Christina meets with her friend Chris.
Oh yeah, her the friend that was talking to
Henry at the homecoming. Homewarming party.
Absolutely, at the housewarming party. Absolutely.
She mentions that they still haven't had sex, which we already know that. Well, she was telling him that. I think he already knew too, because he kind of gets a gist of Henry's personality.
Yeah, and he actually is really on point with a lot of the things that he says.
I think so.
Yeah.
She said she's used to having sex on day one.
Well, I mean,
I'm like,
but she's already she's kind of already put that out there.
Yeah.
That's what she's into.
I don't judge. I think sometimes maybe that's okay, but for it to be unheard of, for you not to do it, that's like an issue.
Well, yes, it is. And she actually, though, starts to say that she actually appreciates a little bit of that.
Now, yeah, she says it now. Chris says that he's opposite of what she's dated in the past, and Chris says that the previous guys that she's dated were crazy. I'm glad that he put that out there.
She kind of put that out there too, though, earlier.
Well, she didn't use the word crazy, though. Chris put that out there. She kind of makes it seem as if her past, boyfriends were just more exciting. Chris put it out there that they were crazy, like it wasn't good, basically.
Well, they probably made her crazy too, because they had a little bit more, and so whenever she came at them, they went back at her. So
right in the same level. Christina says that she doesn't know Henry's end game. I'm like, I don't know what she meant by that.
I don't even think that Henry has an end game. I think his end game is, let's see how it goes. Like, that's it.
I think so. And she makes it hard why would he have an end game with you when it's been going like this?
It's been up and down. And, so mainly, down.
Yeah, it's not surprising that you wouldn't know. Why would you know?
Yeah, no.
Neither of you guys know if you want to stay together or not. So
she seems to change a lot.
A lot.
She seems to have very different personalities. So I don't know if it's just
editing.
I don't know. But when she was talking to her friend Chris, it did seem like he was giving her so many good pointers that it gave her an opportunity to really reflect on her end game.
Isn't that an example of a friend who doesn't want you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody who helps you,
right. With unlike Henry's friend.
Right, because absolutely. Because if it was some dude that kind of liked her, then he would be like, oh yeah, he's terrible. He has no confidence. He is this, that, and the other. And so it would be that was the reason why I didn't like her.
That's so funny. Chris says that Henry is someone who follows the rules. He was like, he probably doesn't have any speeding tickets, and I think Christina was like, he really doesn't.
I'm sure. I'm sure he's the person you don't want to be behind.
And then so Christina makes a comment, believe me, there's people who want to marry me. That was so weird of her to say.
That shows a little bit of her insecurity.
Right? Because, why would you say that? That was weird.
Because she probably believes that no one wants to marry her.
Yeah.
Which is, probably why she got involved.
Because nobody was talking about who else wanted to marry you. That was weird.
Well, again, we've already talked about how I believe she's really insecure anyway.
Yeah.
She really is.
She tries to play like she's not, but Chris mentions that maybe Henry is waiting on her to take the lead, although she's not used to that and she's used to, other people kind of giving the initiative, but she has to be different with Henry.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier, that, maybe she has to be the one to take the lead, take the reins and say, hey, this is how we do it. Chris really hit that on the nail. And I think that that's the only way that this is going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so next, Amelia and Bennett, they go hiking, and Bennett wanted to find, the special time to tell her that he's in love with her. He found that time. He came to the camera and told the camera, both of them, that he said it. And at first, and he was like, but she didn't say it back. But then she ended up saying it. And he was like, really? They were so giddy.
Yeah. One thing that I really liked about how he did it was that he didn't actually do it on camera.
Right.
He did it off camera. So he told her. He didn't tell America that I love her. He said to her, I love you. And then
I didn't think about that. That is so true.
Then he said it at the end. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool that he didn't do that. But they're so silly.
Yeah.
Golly, even when I saw them, running, and I saw her doing her little chicken dance or whatever she did.
But one thing I love about them is that they are really silly, but I can tell they can get serious, because I'm sure when Bennett told her that he loved her, it was an intimate moment.
Yeah.
I think it was serious.
Yeah, well, because he was premeditating when he was going to do it, so he was really waiting on a good opportunity to do it.
They're such a beautiful couple. It's just, love is just, I love love.
Yeah, this was a very loving episode.
Yes,
really
yes, exactly. So Karen and Miles are at the park. Now they're sitting down. And Miles, they saw a dog. Lord, Karen can't stop with the sarcastic stuff. They saw a big dog, and then Karen said something like, that's the type of dogs that you like. And he was like, yeah, that, or either, just chill, cuddly dogs. And she goes, of course. Her sarcasm is irritating. Like, I just feel bad for him, because now it's looking like he's being picked on. You can tell that Miles kind of is getting more irritated with her sarcasm as well. Can't you tell?
Yeah, I can. And what was funny was that when you said that he was getting picked on, I kind of got the glimpse in my head that it's like when, if he was dating an upperclassman, if he was in the 9th grade and he was dating an 11th grader, like, there's going to be her as the authoritative figure, and that's and he's going to be doing everything he can to stay there, because he likes to have that title.
Right. Exactly. So no, that totally makes sense.
That's the relationship that they got.
So they talk about their anniversary, because, like we said, it's everybody's 1-month anniversary. And Miles mentions, this could be their last anniversary, even though he hopes not.
She said, yep.
Yeah, this time she doesn't even say anything. And it's but it's like, yeah, she doesn't really give anything, but one word. And you even mentioned, like, she never carries the conversation, or she never initiates a back and forth.
She doesn't. And, she generally chooses to have just one word, or, a few word responses. In fact, in my opinion, if it's something that Miles brought up, then she'll only give you 4 words at max.
He gave her an anniversary gift. It was like this box. When she opened it up, it was some notes and stuff in there for her to read. And she made a joke saying that she couldn't read his writing. That's when I saw him kind of get a little bit irritated, because he was like, come on, just basically just read it. Like, they got to talk about I'm trying to be sweet in this moment. And she was, I kind of felt him get a little irritated.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't actually see it that way, but I see what you're saying now that you say that. But he wrote it on a couple of sticky notes on, a piece of tissue that you put on top of the thing.
I didn't see the sticky notes.
You didn't see the sticky notes? Yeah, no. It was 2 sticky notes, like an orange and yellow and a blue one.
It's kind of like, at first I was thinking, that's an interesting 1 month. I mean, and he was like sentimental, but what more could he do? It's not like he could have done what I don't even think Olivia and Brett, I don't think we got to them, but I don't think they really gave any gifts. But either way, it's not like they could have done like Amelia and Bennett, because that was really sentimental. Woody and Amani was really sentimental.
Wow.
He tried to do his part, but anyway. So basically in the gift was saying that he looks forward to their future and he wants them to stay together and he wants them to be kind of like the, couples that we see on TV, like Martin and Gina, and what are the other couples he named?
I think he also say Claire and Cliff?
Yep.
But that was actually a prelude to the shirt that he had got her.
Exactly.
Which had
from a black-owned company.
From the black-owned company, absolutely. But it was a black T-shirt that had inscribed all of the prolific black couples in TV. So Sinclair,
that was cute.
And I forget that. Oh, what was his name?
I forgot, but yeah, them. And he said he wanted them to be an example of what, black love was. And she said that was sweet. She gave him a kiss. She gave him a little brother kiss on the cheek.
She did.
But
that was a lot for her.
That was a lot. And at first, when we were watching it, I said, oh, that was, okay, that was good. But then I started thinking about it more and I was like, but you even can kiss somebody that you don't like on the cheek.
Yeah, I can see that. But she has to almost force herself to like him.
Yeah. So he asked her thoughts on where they are now. And she said that it's been a lot.
It's been a lot.
Mind you, he's looking for something sentimental. I know he was. Just hoping. She said, because, remember that his love language, one of them is words of affirmation. She didn't really give him a lot, but she said it's a lot. She said they did something scary together, but they've been getting closer. They've did something scary and ridiculous. And yeah.
Scary and ridiculous. What did
she said ridiculous. Getting married at first sight.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really all. That's all she said.
She just couldn't care less.
Yeah.
She's so self-centered at the moment that only thing she can really think about is how she feels.
Yeah.
And Miles is really caring about how she feels.
Yeah.
So it's there's definitely a disconnect. But I will say that when I saw her kiss Miles on the cheek, and I'm starting to get the feeling now that there may be a turnaround, just because of
because of the pandemic.
Yeah. I think the pandemic is helping out, of course, but I think this episode for them, she's starting to come around a little bit.
Hopefully for Miles' sake. So we go to Woody and Amani. They're having dinner in the kitchen for their 1-month anniversary. Amani's pigtails were so cute. She said that her emotions have grown, and he says the same thing. They basically go back and forth on, you've made me do things that I don't normally do. They've basically both pushed each other to get out of their comfort zone. So they agree on that. And one thing that Woody said was that she makes him respond differently than any other woman, and she's his black queen.
Yeah, and I can see that.
Really? Woody, how so?
Well, if Woody has, for the most part, been single most of the time, not knowing if somebody was really there for him, and that if that's the person that he's going to settle down with, the fact that he has that person that he's settled down with, I can see why he feels the way he feels.
Yeah, I agree. And he says 1 month down, forever to go. I thought that was really cute. I can't get enough of them. They should have their own show, but then again, I'm like, if they have their own show, then they're gonna have to put drama in it, and it's gonna mess them up. So I'll just hopefully we'll see them on Couples Cam.
Yeah,
that's a good way for us to still kind of keep track of what they have going on.
They gotta add some drama, because even Deanna and Greg, who are similar and not much drama, they got a little drama.
Not in the Couples Cam. If they had a show by themselves, they would have to. But Couples Cam, you can kind of really do you. That's why I said Woody and Amani should just go on there and not do their own show.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amelia and Bennett. Bennett brings her a blender.
A blender
with no box.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty used. The
Yeah,
way
I'm
he
like, where
brought
did
it
he get
in,
that from?
like he got it from the thrift store.
Right. And a jaw harp. I never heard of that before. Or maybe I have. I don't know. It looked kind of familiar.
The sound was familiar, but I've never actually seen what that sound like. I would have called it a
Yeah, the sound
didgeridoo.
was familiar too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Australian thing.
Right? Or also used in like meditation. It kind of sounds like.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, Amelia seemed to have liked her gifts.
It would only those gifts would only be acceptable for them. That's why they're perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
and Amelia sings a song that she wrote for him. That's her gift. It was really cute.
Yeah, it was a really good song.
You can definitely tell that they really adore each other.
Yeah, almost as if like they planned this.
I know, right?
I say that they did, but
they said we're gonna get on here.
Right. And
what she say and get a free wedding?
We're gonna get a free wedding. They were just like, let's just go in there and, be kooky. And then we'll get matched.
Right. Because they're really a perfect match.
They are.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving on, the couples reminisce on their wedding day. So first we have Olivia and Brett. They're back at the apartment. They look at their wedding video, and it seems like when the couples are looking at their wedding videos, it kind of reminds them of why they did this in the first place, which kind of brings them back together.
Well, because they have something that they can both relate with.
Yeah.
They both were in this awkward situation, and they have so much to talk about. How did you feel? What were you thinking in this picture? What were you thinking in that picture? And now they know each other so differently, and so at that moment they didn't know each other at all.
That's true. That's true.
And so that's a fun conversation.
I know. Yeah, I agree.
It's easy to
for the ones who like each other, I guess, who at least like each other.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on. But yeah.
And Brett says that he feels very affectionate towards Olivia. So, I mean, I think Brett could be, he knows now that he really needs to come through and get serious and be himself. So hopefully we start seeing more of that between Olivia and Brett.
I hope so. I hope so. Today, this episode was very much looking like a turning point in this relationship, so I'm very interested in seeing what happens.
Exactly.
Next.
And Amani and Woody, they look at their photos. Woody keeps just telling her how beautiful she looks in the photos, which is really sweet. Women love to hear compliments like that. He's always complimenting her, so she'll never have to wonder how he feels, which I think is good.
Absolutely not. I think another sweet thing he said was that, I'm just an accessory to you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh.
So now we know he's not full of himself.
Yeah.
Even though we know he's confident.
Right.
But I'm glad he said that just to ensure, like,
oh, he's
you're the star here, and I think that's really sweet.
He's Smith. This is the thing. He is so big right now. Can you keep this up? Can you keep it up?
I feel.
Can you?
Well,
keep this up?
in the preview, I wonder what they're trying to. In the preview, is it really as big as they made it seem? There's some issue happening, but I feel like it's not going to be that big because we know what's going to happen. So it must have. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, maybe he's like the opposite of Brett, and he is not as much involved when the cameras are off.
I don't think that's true.
I believe you. I agree. I'm just throwing some shade. I'm just saying
because
that it's possible.
I smell some hating.
Sizzling.
Even though you don't have a reason to hate because you're amazing.
That's right.
Okay, so Amani mentions how they didn't look awkward in the photos, which is what we thought when we first saw them. Remember that the first episode when they met each other, we said, they're like
into each
they're
other.
Really into each other, right? And they meshed well during wedding day. He quickly tells her that he loves her again, like it was real smooth. She didn't say it back. I could tell. At first, I forgot that she hadn't been saying "I love you" because he said it so easily.
Right.
But Amani did say that she likes how he says it without her asking. I understand that too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, and she says that she's approaching the love train, so she's getting there.
He's been consistent thus far. So 1 month down,
forever to go.
600
like he said
to go.
He said 1 month down, forever to go.
He did.
He did say that.
He did. I'm just saying, he is setting a high bar for himself.
Amelia and Bennett, they read their vows again to each other. I think they have the couples read their vows again to like remind them, of what they said. I think it's a good, reiterator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just kind of helps put them back into that mind frame. Absolutely. And which I think for a lot of the couples that they needed, I think that it definitely helped.
Yeah.
And what did Amelia said that, oh, my friends thought that your vows are so amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah.
Then Christina and Henry. So they look at their stuff and Christina makes a comment, better days. Before they knew each other, better
so
days.
Negative.
Right. And
we were so awkward then.
Right. And she kept just saying negative stuff. And Henry was just like, I mean, that would have been I don't think Henry was in that mind frame. Henry was ready to possibly be positive, but she kept throwing that negativity out.
And it could have been a positive thing.
Yeah.
It could have been. I mean, oh, that was the last time we kissed.
Well, she did say that we kissed a lot back. They forgot how much they kissed.
Yeah, but make it to, a conversation to we should kiss again. As opposed to that's the last time we'll ever kiss.
Right.
That was almost as if like that was the conversation.
Right. And I wondered why, they kiss so much then and not now. But then I also thought it's because people were telling them to kiss.
Right. Yeah. Because, I'm sure production isn't telling them now when what they want is drama.
Right. Exactly. And Henry mentioned that there's a disconnect because it makes him wonder if they're on the same page when she says stuff like that, those sarcastic remarks and, negative stuff. It kind of throws him back. Which,
we thought the same thing though from the last episode, how she just kind of flipped on him. And then now this episode, it was like, oh, you must have skipped a day on your medication. Because now you're acting like you like the guy.
Right, because she turned around and then she started trying to say good things. Like it totally flipped in the same conversation. And I know editing plays a part of that, but she still said what she said. You got to have the footage in order to play it.
You still said what you said. And so they probably get in the editing the gist of what is going on. And so,
and so now she's starting to come around, and I feel like, maybe her conversation with Chris, played a part in her kind of like saying I'm tripping. The pandemic happening probably, nobody listen, everybody was getting their mind right when the world was going to shut down.
Yeah, they were getting your priorities set.
Right. Good thing we were already there.
Oh yeah.
But it may be too late now. Christina is sounding like she's open to being a different person when she just said that who he is a deal breaker. But now all of a sudden she's like, she wants to keep working at it. But Henry may be over it, especially since his best girlfriend told her she's not it.
What was this, episode 12?
Yeah.
So she basically on every even number episode is cool. Every odd number episode, she's not. So
is that what it is?
Yeah. So episode 11, she was episode 10.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Episode
right. You might be right.
We got to go back, right. But I think this is her pattern.
So Miles and Karen, they look at their photo album. And, her compliment is, look at you, cheesy. Because he was cheesing. I don't know. I guess he wasn't supposed to be happy.
She be the one cheesing.
Let me stop.
All her glory.
But then Karen says that Miles treats her well. And she's excited to see what the future holds.
Well, she is in a dilemma with herself.
Oh my God.
She's in a dilemma with herself. And so she's like, I don't want to like him.
You know what I think happened?
I can't verbalize why I shouldn't.
What I think happened is
the pandemic. I know what
the day before, it was all over the news. And it was like, oh, this is getting serious. Lockdown, people are starting to have to stay in their houses. She thought about the fact that if she doesn't have Miles, she doesn't have anybody. And then she started thinking about, well, Miles isn't that bad. Because in a time of of war and craziness,
Right.
you want someone who is as caring as him.
Karen got your back. He will carry you
Exactly.
on his back, slide you from room to
Exactly.
room.
It would be different if they went through something and Miles did something that made her change her thought frame.
Mm-hmm.
That is more like, okay, it's real because it was something that he did. That's him. But he didn't do anything. He's the same person that you didn't like. It was the world that happened to make you think differently. And I think that's unfair.
Maybe. However, that's how they got together to begin with. The
What?
world put them together. It wasn't like he did anything for her to like him and vice versa. And so they were put together based on just these awkward circumstances. And now she is changing her opinion of him because of awkward circumstances. And so it all kind of boils down in a way to fate for them because they were happenstancely put together. And she now likes the guy because of a happenstance situation.
Maybe you're right.
Mm.
So Karen reads the vows. Vows. Karen reads her vows and says that she didn't want to make promises in them because she didn't know him, but she has tried to be her best self. Which I get what she's saying. It could be kind of awkward to make promises, to a person that you don't know, and all you can do is try to be your best self. So I get that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to be your best self.
Yeah, maybe this is her best self. She said she
Lord,
has been trying to be
if
her
this
best
is her
self.
best self, Miles, you need to run.
Miles reads his and says that, he got all the things that he wanted in a woman from Karen. And the main concern is the physical intimacy. Well, then you
What
didn't
is
get everything that you wanted.
and even out of that, it's not even just that, it's even emotional
I don't, yeah.
intimacy. It's a
He must be just
companion.
talking about how he wanted her like physically. But I don't see, physically, I could see them being compatible. And also the way they play with each other, they're compatible. So if those were one of the top two things on his list, then maybe.
Just not thinking about it. She said that Miles is not as masculine as she would like.
Mm-hmm.
And to be frank, she is more masculine than most females. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe the experts put them together because he was a tad bit on the feminine side and she was a tad bit on the masculine side. And they figured that would mesh.
She's definitely, I've seen it more as time goes, especially during the preview. She's giving me very boyish
Oh, yeah.
ways.
You didn't see her thug life tattoo?
No, I didn't see that. I could see her having
It
one.
was on her belly.
Yeah, the preview seems pretty interesting. Things are shaking up a little bit,
Well, can I talk about what we saw?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I mean, what we saw coming up, it was funny because this episode was a 180 for everybody. Well, not for everybody, for the ones who were doing bad, they all stepped it up this episode.
Yeah.
Brett was doing much better. Christina was doing much better. But now we see in the previews, and maybe it's the editing, but it seems like Brett's mad. He's leaving the house.
Oh, yeah. She
Yeah.
was like, he took everything.
Yeah. And so maybe this is it. Maybe that was it. They had some calm before the storm.
Karen's tripping, like, where you been all night? I
Oh,
missed
yeah.
you.
But that's that's what I said to Miles. I said, Miles, you need to pull back, brother, and she will come after you. And that's exactly what's happening. And so I'm happy to see her vulnerable.
And it shows, it seems like it's Miles that doesn't know if he wants to stay, because it seems like Karen said that she told him that. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that happened.
Yeah.
Because I just would love to see Miles kind of stand up for himself. And why they have to do this with Amani, I don't know, some DM thing. I don't know how they're gonna flip this, but I just doubt that it's as big as they're making it seem.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably not.
It's always like that.
But I mean, like I said, he put himself at such a high pedestal. I mean, he's got an easy fall. He's got an easy fall. He's got an easy fall. And so, I mean, especially for being such a brand new relationship. I know you guys are married. I mean, I expect there not to be, fumbles and follies. However, I'm sure everything isn't figured out already. and he's putting everything out there as if they've been together for years. And so that's where I fear.
I don't think it's gonna be something to where people are like, "Oh, heck no, Woody's trifling." I just don't see that.
No, I don't see that either, but I can't wait
But
to see.
I can believe that he probably got some stuff in his DMs from before they were together.
I'm telling you, it's probably some woman saying, "You need to pay child support
Ooh.
and stop buying Versace shirts."
Oh my god, that is
Because
too
he's got the
funny.
kids out there. We're gonna figure that out later, but
Right. Guys, thank you so much for
oh
listening to A
yeah,
Couple's Review. We really, really appreciate you. Make sure you like
comment.
and subscribe.
Yeah,
Also, turn on your notification bell so you'll know as soon as we put up a video.
that's right.
We were thinking that possibly if we get 100 subscribers, we'll do a live so you guys can see our faces. That would be
Ooh.
fun,
Oh,
wouldn't it?
you gonna show them our faces?
Yeah,
They
we'll
gonna
get
they gonna
on
be hooked by
live
that point.
and we'll do like a live review. We'll
Mm,
find out some type of way, but we're thinking about it. So
okay.
tell us what you guys think about that. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for
Oh
listening.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.